It's Toys for Fun 1, and this is my Rogue One, a Star Wars story movie review. So the movie is a great movie, and it's an exciting movie, and I know that a lot of people thought it was really slow. I really liked it. I don't see why there's a slow part to it. And had a lot of action in it, so let's dive into it. I'm going to first start off with the visual effects were great. I know there's been a lot of complaints about the CG Grand Moff Tarkin. I actually, when I first saw the movie, I did not think that he was CG. I just, it didn't bother me. I just felt, okay, there's Grand Moff Tarkin. I didn't think, oh, he looks so bad, he's CG. I didn't think that, and I don't know why it bothered so many people, but of course when I get pointed out CG, then I can see a little bit, but I think it's really good. I just think that it's really hard to believe it because Peter Cushing's dead. The characters are really great. We have Chirrut Imwe, Jyn Erso, Cassian Andor, K2SO, Director Krennic, Baze Malbus, Saw Gerrera. I mean, those are all great characters in the universe, and Darth Vader, of course. And so first, starting with Felicity Jones, Jyn Erso is a great character. She's kind of struggled. She's a little troubled in her past, and begins to trust people, and that's really cool too. We have Captain Cassian Andor, who was really shady and kind of in the beginning. He shoots this guy in the back because, okay, I've got my information, I'll shoot him in the back, because the stormtroopers were invading. So I think that it shows more of not a squeaky clean rebellion here. That's really cool too. We have K2SO. He is a reprogrammed Imperial droid, and he just is hilarious. He's just the hilarious part of the movie. I mean, some characters make some jokes there here and there, but he is just the part that makes the whole theater laugh, and so he is really funny. And we have director Orson Krennic, who is bad. He doesn't really affect the storyline that much. He doesn't really make a big dent in the storyline. There's anything significant in the storyline. He just kind of stands around and says, "This is my Death Star. I control it. My Death Star. My Death Star. My Death Star. I'm the leader. I'm the leader. I'm the leader." That's really what he only did. He just stomped around and did that. And then we have Donnie Yen's Chirrut Imwe, who was like the only person who was kind of all together, all regular. But he is blind, but he is definitely has the Force. When you first meet him, he absolutely kicks a butt and kills like 20 stormtroopers, and he's blind with his bow staff. And I guess a couple of jokes here and there. And he's just a really well-known character. I wish we would have seen more of him, other than just in Rogue One. But he was very good and talking about the Force a lot, and that was a really cool character. We have Baze Malbus. Yeah, he's like Director Krennic. Didn't really affect the storyline. It's kind of fun to be there. But after thinking about it a lot, I figured out why they put Baze in the movie to show some friendship, because Jyn and Cassian are not friends for the first 3/4 of the movie, and so they had to show some friendship, especially in the beginning. And I think that was a good way to do Baze and Chirrut, because they were friends, and you could see it just from the beginning. They're standing together, they'd kind of be a little antsy with each other, and so that was good that they showed some friendship with that. And I mean, the main message is hope and trust in this movie, and they executed that really well. Yeah, and so let's get going with more of the plot. I know some people had trouble, like I said, with the plot. I didn't really have trouble. I think they had trouble with the beginning. The beginning jumped around a lot, I have to say. It did. I do admit it did jump around a lot. You do feel like a ping pong a little bit, but I think that people had trouble with that because it's happened in many movies. That's how movies sometimes introduce their beginning, by going to different places. I know the animated movie Sing did that, but I think people really had a problem with it this time was because we've never had the beginning of a Star Wars movie just kind of get, boom this planet, boom this planet, boom this planet. Okay, we all come together. And I think people have never had a Star Wars movie like that, so they're not very, they weren't really ready expecting that. I wasn't expecting that, but I think that it's a Star Wars story, and I mean, there's no opening crawl, so it's a Star Wars movie, but it's different, and I think that they executed it, and they made it different in the beginning, right from the beginning. It's a Star Wars movie, it's just truly a Star Wars movie, but it's different, and that is what I think is really cool about this movie. It's different, and I think that people are definitely going to have trouble with this. People are definitely not going to like the movie because it's different and it doesn't actually feel like a Star Wars movie, but it is. And I think people are going to have trouble with that, but I think it was a great Star Wars movie. I absolutely love it, and I know a lot, and I think it might be the best Star Wars movie. It's really awesome. It's very realistic, and heading even to the end where they all die, and that was a very good choice, because if I would have been fine with them just kind of going away and joining the rebellion, but then if you think about it, why didn't we see them in the rebellion? Oh no, there's just so many people we didn't see them. I don't know. And especially with this movie, it connects things so well that you don't have any question. That would be horrible if they connected things so well. And this big question, where are all these characters? You just kind of flew into the storyline and never picked them up. And so I think it was good that they all died, and not just because it's good for the storyline, because it tells you what rebellions are for. What rebellions are. Rebellions are built on hope. Rebellions are, they got the job done, but they all died, and that's our rebellions. You're probably gonna die, and you know that you're outnumbered, but if you can get the job done, then that's a rebellion. And they all died, but they got the job done, and that is truly a rebellion. And that is truly trusting each other too, because they all team up again. And how this group of rebels in the Rebel Alliance go and fight on Scarif, and then of course the rebels come later. But that was having hope, and I think this movie does that really well with that. And I know that all the Star Wars movies, you can have space battles, and you can have explosions and AT-ATs and Darth Vader, but at the end of the day, if you don't have a nice message in it, it's not a Star Wars movie. That's just what it is. And I think The Force Awakens had a great message, and all of the movies had, and I know the prequels even do too. And so that's what made them a Star Wars movie. Whether you don't like the movie, a particular Star Wars movie, but it's a Star Wars movie because all of the films always have a message to them, and that's what makes it the Star Wars movie. Like the emotion, of course, the explosions, the X-wings, the AT-ATs, but the emotion and the messages in the movies make it a Star Wars movie. I think that this movie just nailed it with that, and yeah, they just did really, really good with that, and I hope it does good in the box office. And I think many people are gonna have problems with this, but I absolutely love it. I don't really have any downsiders. I think it was really hard to take everybody dying, but now that I think of it, I've seen the movie 2 times. I really get why they did that. Yes, Princess. Let's talk about some of the original characters. We had Princess Leia, Grand Moff Tarkin, Darth Vader. Let's start with him. Darth Vader was just awesome. He was kind of thrown in half of the movie. He was just kind of thrown into it, but I think they was just trying to say, hey, Darth Vader's in this movie, and yes, we only got like 2 scenes and a half with him, because there's one scene where he's like, prepare the boarding crew, but that's not really a scene, I guess. So really like 2 scenes and a half with him. There's a lot of scenes in this movie, but I think that first scene is just awesome. Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, director. I think that was just an awesome line, and that is Darth Vader right there. That is Darth Vader's just crude jokes, just crude Darth Vader. And we saw another side of Darth Vader, and also connected when he said prepare the boarding crew, but when he also said, when he also went in and just killed like 20 rebels, and they were all firing guns at him, and he was just like, guys, I can take this. I'm not, you guys are dumb. I can take this. And and he threw a guy up on the wall, forgot about him, and then cut him in half. I mean, that was just true rage, true evil right there. And this movie, I know this movie took extended reshoots, and so a lot of the trailer shots are not in the movie. And I think that it feels a little sometimes like not totally flowing through the whole thing. Like you feel like some shots look different than others, um, just not. I mean, every shot's different, but I mean, just a different kind of filming than others. But the movie all flows. Just not everything kind of flows together. But I think that's fine, guys. I think it's really fine. I think people are just critiquing this movie too much, and it's just a great movie. And let's go back to our original characters. We have Leia. She literally only said one word. Hope. Hey, at least she's not Luke Skywalker. They just stood there for about a minute looking at Rey holding the lightsaber. It's like, do something. But hey, she said hope. And of course, Carrie Fisher passed away. So, rest in peace and in memory. But yeah, that was great. And I think a lot of people don't like the CG Tarkin, CG Leia, but I don't know. I actually really like it. I think even I agree with a lot of other people that's saying there should be a CG Han Solo. I mean, people are not gonna like that, but they're really good technology, and I think that's a really good technology, and they should use it a little bit more. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think it looks pretty good, and I don't think people are expecting too much from it. And Leia looked great and everything, and I was really surprised to see her in the movie because they kept her secret so much. There wasn't even a thought in my head I would see Leia in this movie, and we did, and there wasn't even a thought in my head that we would see a lot of scenes of Grand Moff Tarkin. I knew Grand Moff Tarkin would be in the movie. I didn't know that we would get 10 minutes of him in the movie. He was actually a colossal part in this movie. He actually made Krennic was shown more than Tarkin, but Tarkin in this movie made more of a dent in the storyline than Krennic did. Krennic didn't do anything, at least that I can remember. But Tarkin, he said to blow up Jeddah. Tarkin put more of a dent in the storyline than director Krennic, who is one of the main characters and one of the highly anticipated characters in this movie. So that was a little bit of a surprise. Again, going back to Vader's castle, like a lot of people call it. At first I thought it wasn't Mustafar. At first I thought it was some other lava planet, because I thought, why would he still be hanging out on Mustafar 20 years after Revenge of the Sith? Why would he still be hanging out on Mustafar? I thought he was on the Star Destroyer. And so that was a little weird. But then I figured out it was Mustafar, and I just kind of put it together. And I thought, we don't know everything about Vader. I haven't read the novels and about Vader and everything, but I do like him as a character. There's this in the beginning, you see this cloaked figure, and at first I thought it was Director Krennic kind of in a cloak, to go to Vader, and then the cloak figure goes up against these bed tub, and he bends down, and he says, "My lord, Director Krennic has arrived." And it's this old guy in this thing. He looks so menacing, but then you see him, he's just this old guy in this robe. So I don't know what's the deal with him. Probably just one of Darth Vader's servants, because the Emperor has pretty weird servants, so that would make sense if Darth Vader had weird ones too, because his master does. So yeah, and Tarkin, like I said, made a lot of dents in the storyline, and he did his famous line, "You may fire when ready." And that's what, killed all the characters. But it was just a great movie, guys. And more videos coming soon. And subscribe to our channel to view more videos. And we'll see you guys again on another video. Bye-bye, guys. Subscribe. Like us, subscribe. And see you again. Check out our Google Plus profile. And yeah, bye-bye.